Now I shall tell of things that change, new being out of old. Since you, O gods, created mutable arts and gifts, give me the voice to tell the shifting story of the world from its beginning to the present hour. And that's from Ovid's The Metamorphosis. And I'm going to read a small little section of chapter 4 of my book, Angels, Demons, and Gods of the New Millennium. This one's called The Procession of the Equinoxes and the Metamorphosis of the Gods. I'm not going to read the whole chapter. Here's the book. Wrote it a number of years ago. It's still in print and still available. The original first printing of the book contained a tip-in, a beautiful color tip-in like this. It folded out, and subsequent editions don't include this. But if you have the book, if you have the new edition, just drop me an email or a message here on Facebook, and I will send you the file of the color thing for you to print out yourself. So I'd be happy to do that. Anyway, I'm on this subject today because of what we're all observing in the world around us. And I posted a little message this morning on a Facebook page that said something to the effect of there are periods of time when just a few folks get incredibly enlightened. I mean, incredibly enlightened. Just a few folks. And everybody else on the planet seems to just go jack shit crazy, dangerously stupid. And it's like a period of polarization where a few incredibly brilliant flashes in humanity and in culture flash, and the few people that are experiencing that flash set into motion wonderful evolutionary leaps in consciousness, I guess, as a whole. But while that's happening, it seems like they drain all of the common sense, all of the goodness out of everybody else for a period of time, and the world goes absolutely bonkers. Okay. That's what's happening right now. Now, I'm not saying that I'm getting the flash of enlightenment and stuff, but there are those who are at this period. And you can tell that that's going on somewhere because the rest of the world has gone batshit crazy. So I'd like to read you a little something from the Procession of the Equinoxes and the Metamorphosis of the Gods that treats on this subject. Because tomorrow I'm going to probably get out my guitar and play something for Thanksgiving. I confess I'm old enough to remember with poignant nostalgia the golden age of hippiedom, which I have here as 1966 through 69. My wife and I tuned into the Beatles, vegetarianism, yoga, astrology, and Eastern mysticism. We turned on to the softer varieties of chemical mind expansion and dropped out of college, the military-industrial complex, and any involvement with the social and spiritual formulae of the previous generation. We found ourselves thrust into the vortex of a profound and universal polarization of perception. Artists and young people were the first to be affected. Either you saw that the world had changed radically, or you didn't. If you saw it, you were seized with the realization of limitless possibilities. A world at peace, the eradication of disease and hunger, space travel, spiritual enlightenment, all seemed possible and within our reach. Those that didn't see it, including our family members, you'll probably experience this at the Thanksgiving table tomorrow. Those that didn't see this, including family members, politicians, and movie stars, were seen as dangerous troglodytes collaborating with the slave masters and worshiping false old gods of greed, violence, and self-induced ignorance. Many and colorful were the variations within this symphony of change, but Bob Dylan's raspy little voice articulated its major theme, quote, "For the times they are a-changin'." Now, there was no shortage of theories proposing to explain this cultural phenomenon. The government blamed communist agitation. The military blamed the liberal government. School administrators blamed television and the compassionate child-raising advice of Dr. Benjamin Spock. Right-wing extremists blamed an international Jewish conspiracy, fluoridated water, and Elvis Presley. Elvis Presley blamed the Beatles. And Christian zealots from nearly every band of the ecumenical spectrum proclaimed that the eagerly awaited universal Holocaust prophesied by the Bible was at last at hand. Finally, with a cultural irony that perhaps could only have occurred in 20th century America, a hit Broadway show about hippies revealed the cosmic cause of this manifestation of euphoric optimism and wild unrest. The dawning of the age of Aquarius. World events of the decades following the turbulent 60s have proved that we were a bit premature in our expectations of a millennial utopia. But a broad overview of human history and cultural evolution reveals that we are indeed living in an era of radical change. Looking farther back into recorded history, it's possible to see other such transitional periods flashing at regular intervals along the timeline of history. These brief sparks ignite the atmosphere of the age and define its dominant spiritual, intellectual, and social formulae. Landmarks along these timelines and the names of the ages vary depending on one's scientific or spiritual discipline. The scale of the archaeologist is marked by Ice Age, Stone Age, Bronze Age, Copper Age, Iron Age. Sociologists think in terms of Dark Age, Renaissance, and the Age of Enlightenment. The Greeks and Hindus sang of a golden age, Satya Yuga, of perfect bliss and harmony when humans walked with gods, and a silver age, Treta Yuga, of justice and enlightenment. A Bronze Age, or Dwapara Yuga, the law and enforced morality. An Iron Age, or a Kali Yuga, of violence and moral degeneracy. To the student of Western Hermeticism, the most significant timeline of the ages is determined by the relative movement of heavenly bodies. Since at least the 3rd millennia BC, Vedic astrologers were aware of the spherical shape of the Earth, the laws of gravity, and the heliocentricity of the solar system. Centuries of observation also led them to surmise that our sun and solar system were revolving in an elliptical path about a dual sun or some other inscrutable point in the galaxy. And now we're not speculating, we pretty much know that that's a huge black hole. By observing the relative position of the sun against the backdrop of the zodiacal band at the vernal equinox, it was discovered that the sun seems to fall a bit short of its starting position of the previous year, resulting in the loss of approximately 1 full degree every 72 years. Consequently, the sun appears to move backwards across the belt of the zodiac at an approximate rate of 1 zodiac sign every 2,160 years. Because ancient observations took place at the vernal equinox, this phenomena of retrograde movement was named the precession of the equinoxes. Not procession, but precession of the equinoxes. During its 12-month yearly journey, the sun moves forward through the zodiac, whose signs serve as the symbol of seasonal changes upon the earth. During the 26,000 years of the great year, the sun moves backwards through the zodiac, whose signs are symbols of spiritual seasons. There are various stages of the evolving consciousness, or these spiritual seasons are the various stages of the evolving consciousness of humanity. It is the momentum and direction of this spiritual growth that is the focus of this chapter, for it is in truth this movement that animates the metamorphosis of the gods. And I just wanted to share that much with you. There are quite a few little charts and illustrations that go with that. There's the great astrological year. There's precession of the equinoxes and such. Now, when from our point of view, the sun is in one astrological sign, in a way, the influence of that particular section of the heavens is kind of filtered through the sun to us. Okay, but the opposite side, 180 degrees away at our back, beaming its influence unfiltered by the sun, is the opposite sign of the zodiac. And so the chapter goes on to point out that during the astrological age of, say, Taurus, okay, when the Egyptians were worshiping the bull of Apis and everything else, that was sort of the popular form of religious expression. The bull, okay. But the priests, okay, the esoteric priests of Apis had the Urius serpent, and they were into the Scorpio-ness of it all. And so now we're in the age of Aquarius, and what we've got really going for us, that's the sun's in between Aquarius and us, and what we're getting is 100. We're getting a straight shot in the butt, 180 degrees away. Leo, the beast. Anyway, food for thought. I hope you try to have a peaceful Thanksgiving dinner. You're going to have it's highly likely that if you open your mouth too much about God, religion, social justice, anything smart, just enjoy your meal with the people that you love, no matter what kind of dumb shits they're being at the moment. Anyway, talk to you because you seem like a dumb shit to them. Anyway, we'll see you tomorrow. Continue to be good to yourself, be good to each other. Do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law. Love's the law, love under will.